This is the intro to Long Hair Pretty Nail Show. Yeah.
Hey guys, what's up and welcome back. So in today's video, I'm going to be trying out this Kiss Dip Powder Kit. And this is the Salon Dip Professional Dipping System. It says it's simple as 1, 2, 3, acrylic strength, gentle on the nails, and let's not forget professional. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And what you get inside the kit is this brush-on gel, which is basically the glue. You get activator. You get some extra brushes in case the first one hardens up. And of course, you get the acrylic dip powder, a sponge, the nail tips. You get 40 tips, 20 white and 20 natural color. You get your dipping container. And you get this nail file and buffer combo, manicure stick, and the instructions. And this does not look as simple as 1, 2, 3, okay? Look at all of this. All right, so it does come in different languages, so that is why this paper is so big. But you also want to make sure you read all the instructions before you start. So I'm just going to go over the preparation. It says to clean the nails of any nail polish with acetone-based nail polish remover. Push back the cuticles with a manicure stick. Trim file nails, lightly buff. Surface remove surface oil. Remove dust and wipe with acetone nail polish remover or alcohol. So that is what I'm going to do. Instead of using the manicure stick to push back my cuticles, I just went ahead and used mine because I like to use mine. And then I used the opposite end to scrape away any of the dead cuticle on my nail plate. And then we're going to use the nail file included to lightly buff the surface of the nail. And yes, I am doing both hands today. So after all of that, I'm wiping away the dust using alcohol. All right, so now for the nail tips, I'm gonna go ahead and open up this container, and I'm using the natural tips today. I mean, who still uses those white French tips? So I'm gonna sort through these and pick out my size. All right, so after picking out my size, I'm just gonna go ahead and take on that brush on gel. I wish they would just say glue, okay? It's glue. And I'm gonna use that to apply the nail tips. And this glue does dry pretty quickly, so you wanna make sure you're placing this tip where you want it to be. So for the bigger tips, I do squeeze the sides just to make sure those wings of the tip are nice and secure, and then I wipe away the excess glue. All right, so this is after getting all of the nail tips on, and I'm going to do my shaping because the shape of these tips are horrendous. So this is after shaping the tips the way that I like. And now I'm going to pour that acrylic dip powder into this dipping container. And I really should have opened this before I applied my tips because it was a little hard to open, but you know. All right, so now I'm applying the brush on gel glue, and I'm applying that to my entire nail as per the instructions. And I'm just gonna dip that into the container and tap off the excess. I'm going to wait until the glue dries before I wipe off the rest of the excess powder. So I'm just gonna move on to the next nail and continue to apply the glue and dip and all that good stuff. So I do appreciate this glue being a thicker consistency. It doesn't run all over the place. I can get close to my cuticle area without it flooding. So as you can see here, I did nick my nail, and that happened a lot because my nails are long and a bit longer than, you know, what this dish could hold. So Just keep that in mind if you guys are going for long nails. It might be easier to just sprinkle it than dipping because I kind of ran out of space. As you can see, I kind of have to push some of the powder up to my cuticle area because I didn't have enough room to, continue to move forward. So after allowing the glue to dry, I give it probably about 30 seconds. Then I take the sponge and wipe off the rest of the excess powder. So at first I was looking at this set like it was crazy, like why y'all got a sponge in here? But it is actually very effective in taking off the excess powder, so I'm not gonna hate on it. Alright, so this is my first layer of the dipping powder and it is pretty thin and flat. So I am going to go in with a second layer, but it is pretty strong. So when doing your second coat, you want to make sure when you apply your glue that you wipe off the brush before you dip it back into the glue bottle, because if not, your brush will harden, which is probably why they included more than one brush, because you can ruin your brush if you don't, get all of the acrylic out of it before you dip it back into the glue. So yeah, just make sure you wipe that brush off before you do that. And just continue with the same steps. It is fairly easy, I will give it that, and you get some really nice natural looking nails. And when applying your glue, just make sure to do a nice even layer, not too much glue, but not too little where it's streaky. Like you want it to be a nice even layer of glue. And please wait till the glue dry before you use the sponge. One of my nails, I didn't wait, so yeah. The one thing that I kind of didn't like about this kit is that it is pretty messy. The powder gets everywhere, and I'm kind of one of those people who don't like acrylic powder on my hands and my fingers, and you can't really like grip the way you want to. Like, it's just, the powder gets everywhere. So that's kind of one thing I didn't like. So, I'm trying to be as neat as possible, but the powder gets everywhere. This is what it's looking like after the second layer. So I ended up doing 3 layers of the dip powder. So this is what it looks like after 3. And I will give it to them. It is pretty strong. It's the curve of it is still not what I like, but whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the powder back into the jar. And would you guys believe I ended up using half of this jar? So if anyone wants to know, you're gonna get 2 sets out of this kit. All right, so the next step is to apply your activator. And what this does is make sure your acrylic is going to harden. All right, so I'm still not liking this curve here. So I'm gonna go back to the paper here and tips and troubleshooting. It does say you can cover the seam better and make a nicer nail curve if you add an extra step before step 5. Simply apply gel up the midway from the free edge and dab an extra gel onto the seam. Next, dip the nail into the powder and dust off the loose powder with the sponge before moving to step 5. I wish I would have read that before. Alright, so now I'm going to move on to my shaping and filing. And you don't want to do this too hard because you can end up filing off all of your product. So I wasn't really able to get it as smooth as I want it to be because it is like softer and stuff like that. But you know, I did the best I can do. So this is what the curve is looking like now. It's a lot better and the nails are super strong. Like, I'm really shocked. So after you do your shaping and filing, you need to go back in with a layer of activator, and they do say apply a generous amount of this activator because you want to make sure you're getting all throughout the nail. Especially after filing and shaping, you're exposing more acrylic that hasn't been activated, so you need to go ahead and apply more activator. And avoid your skin, don't be like me. So because my nails are long, I did end up nicking some of them. So some of these have craters in them. So I'm just going to apply more of the gel glue and sprinkle some more powder over those areas so I can fill those in. And I did 2 layers of this because as you can see, these little dips and craters were pretty deep. So I had to make sure I had enough product to fill those in. And then wiping off the excess once the glue has dried. And then applying more activator. And then I also filed it and buffed it smooth and then applied more activator. Alright, so for the polish, I'm using these 2 colors from Nails Inc. And these colors are Strictly Bikini and Birds Before Bros. That name is so cute. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and paint my nails. So this is a regular nail polish. I have not used regular nail polish in a while, and this quickly reminded me as to why. It takes forever to dry. I am so used to gel polish, but I really like this color, so I wanted to go ahead and use this. And as you can see, your girl did both hands. I'm applying the polish to both. I get questions all the time about how I'm able to do both, or do I even do both hands? And yes, I do. It just takes practice, y'all. So I've been doing my own nails for a long time, so just keep at it. All right, so now I'm going in with this beautiful glitter polish. This is so pretty. And I did 2 coats of all the polish. So after those 2 coats, I am going in with the Poochie Nails Super Shine Gel Top Coat. And I get asked all the time, yes, you can put gel top coat over regular nail polish. You just have to make sure that the polish is completely dry before you do. So I usually let mine dry for about an hour. I know that's not practical for working nail techs, so you know. So after curing, I'm applying my cuticle oil. And this is the finished look. I really do like how these turned out. I am pleasantly surprised. They are a bit thinner than what I like, but these are like if you let your real nails grow out. This is about how thick they'll be, so they do look natural. So yeah, you guys can get some pretty decent nails for under $12.
This This is the outro to the Long Hair Pretty Nail Show. Yeah.